Now don't you think it'd be enough to drive a man to booze? Well, Hard Luck Smith was hoodoo proof. He knew the way to lose. 'Twas in the year of 1904, leap year I've heard him say, when Hard Luck come to Hunker's Creek, he took a hillside lay. And lo, as if to make amends for all his feudal past, late in that year he struck it rich, the real pay streak at last. The ripples of his sluice box were choked with speckled earth, and night and day he worked that lay for all that it was worth. And when in chill December gloom his lucky lease expired, he found that he had made a stake as big as he desired. One day, while contemplating on the waywardness of fate, he felt the ache of lonely man to find a fitting mate, a petticoated pard to cheer his solitary life, a woman with soft, soothing ways, a confidant, a wife. And as he cooked his supper on his little Yukon stove, he wished that he had staked a claim in love's rich treasure trove. But suddenly he stopped and held aloft a Yukon egg, and therein it was faint penciling the magic name of Peg. You know these Yukon eggs of ours? Some pink, some green, some blue. $1 per, assorted tints, assorted flavors too. A supercilious Chachaco might designate them high, but one acquires a taste for them and likes them by and by. Well, Hard Luck Henry held his egg closer to the light, and there was more faint penciling that sorely taxed his sight. But finally he made it out, and the legend read like this: Will Klondike Miner write to Peg, Plum Hollow, Squashville, Wiss? That night as he lay thinking of this far-off unknown fair, she seemed so sort of opportune in answer to his prayer. She flitted sweetly through his dreams. She haunted him by day. She smiled through clouds of nicotine and cheered his weary way. At last he gave into the spell. His course of love was set. Wisconsin his objective point. His object, Margaret. Well, every mile of sea and land his longing grew and grew. He practiced all his pretty words, and these I fear were few. But finally on one frozen eve, with a cold chill down his spine, he found himself before her house, the threshold to the shrine. His courage flickered to a spark, then burst into its flame. He knocked, he heard a welcome word. She came, his goddess came, and lo, she was pretty as any flower. And huskily he spoke, I'm all the way from Klondike with a mighty heavy poke. I'm looking for a lassie, one whose Christian name is Peg, who sought a Klondike miner and who wrote it on an egg. The lassie gazed at him a space. Her cheeks grew rosy red. She smiled at him with tear-bright eyes, and then she softly said, Oh, lonely Klondike miner, it is true, my name is Peg. It's also true I longed for you and wrote it on an egg. My heart went out to someone in that land of night and cold, but oh, I fear that Yukon egg might have been mighty old. I waited long, I hoped and feared you should have come before. I've been a wedded woman now for 18 months or more. I'm sorry since you've come so far, you ain't the one who wins, but won't you take a step inside? I'll let you see the twins.